All right, we're back with another burger review, and this time it's one of my favorites. This is the much anticipated review of In-N-Out Burger. Seattle Burger King, Las Vegas. My shorts are dirty. Smash Burger. Here's this bad boy. Let me tell you about In-N-Out Burger from my perspective. So my parents had family in California, and so we took a lot of trips down to California. We were too poor for flying, so we drove every time. And so my first In-N-Out Burger experience was always in Redding, California. And so, because that was the closest one, 6 hours. And so we'd always end up there as the first stop on these road trips down to California to see family and for vacations and things. So it kind of has some sentimental value there, memories of those road trips and some of those fun times. And then In-N-Out started to expand and come up our way. And so we got one in, I think it was Grants Pass first, and then in Medford. And I don't think I have really been to those ones much since they've been around. But then about 5-6 years ago, just before COVID, so 2019, I think it was Christmas season 2019, we got this one here in Kaiser. And so one that's literally, 20 minutes from the house. What could go wrong? When it first opened up, it had, I know people that waited like 8 or 10 hours. My insurance agent was actually the first one in line, and so he waited days, I think. But there were line out the door. People waited all day long just to get this burger. I don't think we ever ended up doing that. I think we waited once where we waited like an hour, I think, at most. We're not crazy. We're not gonna wait any longer than that. But since then, it's chilled out, and if you come on the right day, like I did just now, I waited maybe 10-15 minutes to get through the drive-thru line. Let's get into what I got. Love In-N-Out. It's the old classic kind of drive-in style, and so you end up with a box that you can eat in your car. They're very they care about you, and they even gave me a placemat for my crotch, the crotch mat. So my typical order, I'm gonna do a double animal style with whole grilled onion, and then a animal style fry, and a large Diet Coke. This time I went ahead and got the whole grilled onions. I've done this a few times. It just kind of adds like a little more texture and makes the onions actually taste quite a bit different than they are when they're those caramelized pieces. One of the reasons I really like In-N-Out is because of the simplicity. The menu has like 4 different things on it. You got burgers, you can get a double, you can get a triple, you can get a quad. They got their secret menu, which is just taking the normal menu items and kind of leveling them up. But it's just so simple. It's so good. They do one product and they do it the best that they can, and decently affordable. My whole meal was, I don't remember. When they first came into town, I remember my meal was like $10 flat. But it's been 5 years, and so it's totally understandable. And considering the economy, I think they're doing their best to keep prices reasonable, which I think everyone can really appreciate. So I got the fries, animal style. It's got melted American cheese. It's got their grilled onions, and then their spread. And their fries by themselves, you can say what you will, they're typically not super great. But when you add in all these toppings, they're one of my favorite things in the world. It ends up being just so good, ooey gooey, sweet from the onions, and then the sweet and tartness from the sauce is just so good. At the end of the day, this is why I kind of copied it to put it on my menu, because it's killer. Good thing I got the crotch mat. I'm dropping stuff everywhere. Double animal style. The typical double, lettuce, tomato, onion, pickle, spread, American cheese. What makes it animal style is the grilled onion, It's a mustard fried patty, so they put mustard on it while they're grilling it, so it gives it a little extra flavor. And then it's extra spread, because spread is just so good. And again, I did the whole grilled onions on this, so you can see there's the layer of whole grilled onions in between the two patties. I don't know exactly what they do, but this, I mean, it ends up, good. You love In-N-Out because they put it in the diaper and catches all your drippings. So good. All right, this is easy. I know exactly where I'm gonna bite. This is an easy one to dig into. I almost ate the paper. Crotch mat, so good. That first bite got big old hunk of onion in there. Everything is just so moist and delicious. In-N-Out is one of the wettest burgers you can get. I don't know what it is. They're super fresh ingredients. The sauce just makes everything so wet and moist and drippy. That sounds bad, but it's actually good. Once I get a few bites in, then I go for the spread. So now I do spread with every single bite. You thought it wasn't wet enough. Well, I'm adding more sauce. That bite, I got a huge hit of the mustard from that mustard patty. Yeah, and you gotta really lather that thing up. It's so good. Getting to the point where I need to ditch the diaper, otherwise I'm gonna start eating the paper. So it's time for that to go. Now I'm gonna get even more messy, but it's so worth it. As you can tell, this is one of my favorite burgers. I get it probably at least once a month now that they're close by, but more. There were times where I was getting it once a week. So, last bite. All right, now that we're done with that, let's get into my in-depth score of In-N-Out. Obviously, I have a lot of nostalgia for this burger. It's not something that I necessarily grew up with. I mean, my first one was probably, it had to be like 2002 or 3. So, I mean, that still would have been under 10 years old, probably. I didn't have it, like, right next door growing up. It was maybe a once or twice a year that we would get In-N-Out from one of those road trips. But it left such a memory in my mind that hasn't, like, swayed with growing old. Not that I'm old. I'm pretty old. I'm not that old. Shut up. All these things like that we grew up with over time just get worse and worse. And I feel like In-N-Out has stayed consistent throughout the years with everything that it brings to the table. This is the highest quality, like freshest ingredients for the price that you're getting. It's $12 for a meal, and it's so fresh, so flavorful. They take the time, they put care into everything. It's so good. It's so good. Anyway, like I understand it's easy to hate on In-N-Out, whether it be from like a coastal perspective of you grew up on the East Coast, so you don't know, or just there's so much hype built around In-N-Out that I could see you being disappointed. But you got to take everything into consideration. Super fresh. Kind of fast. Not super fast. It's not fast food by any means. Besides the fact that it is fast food. But it's not fast. But it is super cheap for what you're getting. Like, the amount of food, the quality, it's all super cheap. My score for In-N-Out is a 8.8. So, super high score. I love In-N-Out. It's one of my favorites. I come as often as I can. Even without the nostalgia, I think it would still be an 8.8. If I were like a first time getting an In-N-Out burger today, it would still be an 8.8. What do you think? What do you think of this review of In-N-Out? Do you agree? Do you not agree? Are you an In-N-Out hater? Like there are so many of you out there? And let me know what other burger places I should try in Oregon. I'm not planning on taking any trips anytime soon, so let me know where in Oregon I should go next. Somewhere in Portland. I know there's a lot of places in Portland I want to try. Somewhere in Eugene, anywhere in between. On the coast, Central Oregon. If there's a burger place that's your favorite in Oregon, let me know. Comment down below of where I need to go to next, what I need to review. But yeah, that's your review of In-N-Out Burger. It's an 8.8. That's your Burger Boy score. We'll see you next time. Sorry, a quick break to kind of do a thumbnail, I guess.